I'm going to introduce you now to Mr. Charlie Meehan. Charlie is the Head of Mental Health Services for the CHO2 area, and he's just going to do some closing remarks on the day. Thank you.
I'd like to thank you for inviting me to close the first CHO1, CHO2 Learning Set, Making Recovery a Reality. I must say I'm very proud to stand here today. We have over 200 people from across the CHOs here, and I was actually very heartened at one of the sessions I was at when we asked the people to put up their hands. For the new people actually were here, it was a very significant number. So I think what we're trying to do here is create a momentum, and very much I believe that the success will be around creating a critical mass within the services. And I think it's very much as coming together as managers, as staff working in frontline services, as people with lived experience, their families and their carers, and as a kind of a totality, a whole system coming together in order to try and actually become change managers and facilitate a whole new change process and a new way of working. I suppose it's ironic being here today because this is where I started my career in mental health, and that's going back a long time ago, and I still see some of my old colleagues down there, and very much I think when I come here I kind of reflect back how much things have really changed. Like this, I think there was 500 or 600 people residing here, and I have a lot of memories of the people actually who resided here and the staff that worked here. And we have made huge changes over that period, that kind of 25 to 30 years period since I started in services. But still we have a long way to go if we're really going to make services truly recovery orientated. And I think this is part of this journey, and I feel I got a real sense of today of a real kind of sense of change and a real willingness of us all to work together. Like, we're committed to actually taking the suggestions, feedback. I'll bring it back to my management team. I know, talking to Teresa here, that Leah, and I know from talking to Leo as well, that we're fully committed to make this process work. So again, we see ourselves within the new CHOs providing that kind of top-down leadership, but it needs to be grown at the bottom. We can't do it on our own. The people in frontline services can't do it on its own. But I think if we all come together, we can really bring around a very significant change in services. And I'm really heartened by today. I think it's a really good start on that journey. Well, it's not a part of an ongoing journey, but I must say that the amount of people who showed up here today is absolutely brilliant. So listen, thank you very much for that. Yeah, I also found the whole learning set experience, again, I've sat in on some of them, and again, the kind of the openness and the honesty and people kind of the feedback, I think that's the way forward. And I think we all need to get down together, both service managers and, as I said, and people who have lived experience of the service, their families and staff, in actually facilitating this change. And again, learning new ways of working, because I think we do need to change the way we think about services. I think it struck me what Michael said earlier. Really, this isn't about the head, this is about the heart. And it's about actually trying to make them connections with people, and it's all kind of working together to try and achieve these goals. Also, I think it was great to walk through the brag and steel displays and gathering all the information from the exhibitors. And I'd like to thank everybody for the excellent presentations. I won't go through them all now, but it was great to see them. So listen, and I think we need to learn from them and the experiences that people have within the service. So thank you very much for everybody, the brag and steel. I would like to thank Teresa for opening the event. I know Leo can't be here today, and thanks for Teresa for coming along. I'd like to thank our keynote speakers, Marina, Martin, Michael, Colette, for sharing their perspectives. And I would like to thank everybody who co-produced and co-facilitated the workshops today. Today's workshops facilitated coming together, and I think as well a kind of very much a sense of community. I think it was good for the two CEOs, maybe one on its own isn't, but I think that I noticed there was a lot of interaction across the CEOs, and I think there could be lots of learning from that, and I think it's something that we should consider, doing again, maybe reviewing as I said, that the important thing that needs to happen out of today is that it really means action on the ground and things started to change or continue to change. So again, I think we need to get the feedback here, and maybe we should come together sometime in the future to review where we're going and you know, are we really making a difference? Particularly I'd like to thank those who kind of facilitated the workshop. I suppose today wouldn't be possible without the planning committee from CHO1 and CHO2, and I'd like to thank that committee for organising the event today. I'd particularly like to thank Jackie, also Ashley and Gina and Catherine for their work in driving today's agenda at national and local level, and without them it wouldn't have been possible. So listen, thank you. Also some of the voluntaries and some Zola and Paddy as well. I'd like to thank the local I'd like to thank the local ARI leads. I'd like to thank Teresa and the local management team for supporting today. I'd also like to thank the hotel staff and how well they looked after us today as well. Thank you. Last but not least, I think I'd like to thank you all for coming. I think it has been an excellent day, and without you we couldn't have this kind of collaborative, co-produced approach that ensures that recovery becomes a reality across our services. Again, just to say, as Head of Services, we are committed to building on the recovery-orientated services, and I suppose it's about us all coming together, working together, those with lived experiences and those who are delivering services to make recovery a reality. So listen, once again, thank you very much and have a safe trip home. Thank you.